You know, one of the most important things to realize is that this is the second oldest Catholic church in what is now the continental United States, St. Anne's. Many people still come to this church from all over the Metro Detroit area. We're driving down Bagley, which this is what's remaining of a commercial strip that existed all the way from what at that time was downtown Times Square. It went all the way down Bagley, all the way to almost Grand Boulevard. This is what's left of that economic strip that was the heyday in the 50s, early 60s. Two expressways kind of broke it up, John C. Lodge, and later on in the mid-60s, the Jeffries. Oh, the Honeybee Market. It's a place where everybody comes to from Canada and the Metro Detroit area. Great food, and you see all these Amish folks. And I'm looking for the carts and the horse. Yeah, and they're driving up, and I said, well, okay. But I remember when it was a small storefront, and my mother used to send me to get stuff. This is the famous, you see that tunnel right there? Right there. That's a train tunnel to Canada. I used to see undocumented white folks come across from Canada from there. Yeah, when I was a little kid. This is the oldest neighborhood in the city of Detroit. Corktown is a neighborhood that real estate prices are jumping off the hook. A lot of professionals and even more than professional, well-to-do individuals live here. There's fancy restaurants like Mudgee's and all of that. But when I was growing up, it was definitely a very poor neighborhood. Used to play handball against this building right here. It was a glove factory. You can see in the corner over there, Michigan and Trumbull, left side is what used to be what's left of the old Tiger Stadium. Father Kearns, Monsignor Kearns' residence, the projects, I guess. Well, they don't call them that, but Monsignor Kern was a priest at Holy Trinity, and I was one of his many altar boys.
I think one of the things that's really interesting that a lot of people don't know is that Southwest, as we know it, got its start from Corktown.
Yeah. Now we're getting close to Grand Boulevard, and for many people, this is kind of the start of the broader definition of Southwest Detroit. On the left-hand side is where the Cadillac plant held reign and was king for a long time. There were three plants that during the heyday of the automobile industry anchored Southwest Detroit. It was Fleetwood, Fisher, and Cadillac. We're driving through what's increasingly becoming a Yemeni community. Folks from Yemen, part of the Arab American world, have settled in this neighborhood and also southeast Dearborn.
The store we just passed is an Arab and Mexican store. You're not going to see that in a lot of places.
No.
Arab Mexican store.
This zip code around here is the most polluted in all of Michigan.
Yeah. So many of the residents, there's a lot of cancer here. There's a lot of
asthma
in this area. The forgotten part of Detroit.
We're essentially in an African American community. Schaefer, and a lot of folks would have called this the original Southwest Detroit back in the day. The neighborhood used to be Visker Road. This was the home to a very well-established, stabled, working class and middle class African American community. It was the most politically active zip code or census tract in the whole city of Detroit.
So the one interesting thing about this area right here, it was completely full of homes and families. Marathon had to create a green space barrier in order to turn on their machines.
Some of it was just natural attrition as folks got older, moved to other parts of the city. So, I mean, this was just part of what had been occurring already with some folks moving out, but obviously this sped it up. Vernor on the weekends, well, any time of the week is a hopping place. Certain times of the day, certain parts of Vernor, it's faster to walk from one block to another.
So Vernor is our Woodward.
And a little bit more crowded. But it used to be called Vernor Highway back in the day. Almost nobody refers to it as Vernor Highway. And murals are a very important part of the cultural fabric. Well, that's one thing about Southwest Detroit. Some of my folks in my job come from different parts of the state. This is a good place to work because they got a variety of food. You got Dominican, Puerto Rican, Salvadorian, Mexican.
Honduran.
I mean, it's just, the list goes on.
So this area is a site of a new project for like an open market, maybe a theater, but this is going to be all different within the next 10 years.
Famous Holy Redeemer Church.
Here we are at Clark Park.
It's kind of a spiritual center for the community. This park was actually closed by the city early 1990s, and a group of community activists formed the Clark Park Coalition, and over the years made sure that it was well maintained, became a star within the Detroit Parks and Rec system.